currently listening to Frank Black, known as Francis Black from the Pixies. He also went solo. Remember Francis from Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure? My dad says everything has a price. I wouldn't sell my bike for all the money in the world. Everything's negotiable, Pee Wee. And they get in a whole thing about affinity. I know you are, but what am I? 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 Infinity. Out of all Tim Burton movies, Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure, the original, is my favorite by far. I'm trying to think of one of my favorite scenes. There's so many scenes in that movie that I like. It's hard to kind of keep track. There's like thousands of scenes of the movie I like. I've always liked that movie. I've always promoted that movie too. I think it's one that you have to go see. And what's interesting is I really like Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure so much that I actually worked with Diane Salinger, who was Simone. She was actually my acting coach when I went on my big adventure to Hollywood. It was weird, because who else would I run into? One of my big Pee Wee Herman Big Adventure fan would be... Is it called Pee-wee's Big Adventure? It's called Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Is really what it's called. But people say Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure, but it's actually Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I think that's correct. I'll have to look into that. Tim Burton didn't know who he was until that movie. I'm trying to think of one of my favorite scenes, though. I think probably one of my favorite scenes that I remember is when he's riding with the criminal guy that has the cut-off handcuffs. And he asks him what he did. He says, pillowcases that have that warning sign. Well, I got real mad. A little tag on the pillow. And, the warning. I always paraphrase the scenes. Those pillowcases where it has a warning sign. Or it has like a warning tag. Well, I got real mad. And no, I think he says it, he's different. He says it like this. He goes, he says, what'd you do? He goes, well, I got real mad. And I took a knife. And those pillows that have the little warning label sign? And I cut one of them off. And Pee Wee's like, oh yeah, I always wondered why they had one of those. Then eventually it leads up with them going, the law, the law, the law. One more and I get my promo fulfilled for the early shifts. I'm doing a double shift today. Another scene. I'm trying to think of another scene in Pee Wee Herman Big Adventure that I really like. For some reason, I can't remember. I like the scene. It's not a lot of dialogue or anything. I'm more of kind of a physical actor. I do okay with dialogue. I'm pretty good with dialogue. I have to work hard at it. But I'm very advanced physically. I always have been. But regardless, I'm getting older. But one of my freaking favorite scenes, of course there's the iconic scenes where he dances on the bar, the bars, where the Hell's Angel kind of people, the bikers or whatever they are, the bandinos, whatever bikers they were, the tequila scene, he's dancing on the bar thing. Anyway, everybody knows that scene. But dun 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 dun. I'm not talking about that scene though. That's a good scene, but another scene that I really like, one of the great scenes, is right after they run the car off of the cliff, him and the criminal guy, they're running from the law. He gets down in this dark valley and you hear him go, "Where's my headlamp glasses?" Or whatever they're called, headlight glasses or whatever. And he puts them on and you see, it goes into like a cartoon. These eyes looking around. And then all of a sudden, this light comes in and there's all these taxidermy, you know, animals. It's just really cheesy, you know. And then I also like the scene where there's a Twisted Sister, that sequence. Oh, give me a break. Well, I guess if I just kind of, if I zigzag it through here, I could probably get out right through this way. So I've got a little bit of room here. No evil I can hear, no evil I can do, no evil down on me. You're gonna burn in hell, no evil to see. Yeah, Twisted Sister part. Where he runs across that thing, he's on his bike trying to run away. Then he goes and sees the pet shop that's on fire. He runs in there and saves. You know, it's like he's in the middle of trying to run away with his bike, but he has to save all these animals. And he goes and at the last moment, he gets the parakeets, he gets, you know, the cats and dogs out of there. The monkey goes running out. And all of a sudden he runs out with all the snakes and passes out. That's also a classic scene too. There we go. Yeah, we're rolling. I don't know why you just decided to park right there. Maybe he's wanting an autograph. Be like, no autographs today. No. I think that's actually one of the managers. I think she wanted to talk to me. I'm just dropping off some food. It's not like... Yeah, she's got her hazards on and everything. Around this way. She's walking back to the car real slow. Oh, she's gonna try to cut me off. I'm not even parking there anymore. Oh, that was her spot. I'm dropping off food at her apartment. The only thing is I originally wasn't going to park there. I was going to go all the way around. So that was like by chance that happened. Because there's like 1,000 different parking places there. Boy, man. That lady was hard, man. I'm not going to describe what she looked like, but she looked pretty mean. She looked kind of like Large Marge. That's what I was going to tell her. I was going to tell her Large Marge sent me. Anyway, Large Marge is... Originally, that phrase is coined by Tim Burton, who... It was the name of the... You know, the truck driver that drove a semi. And she was actually a ghost. That's actually a great scene, too. He goes into the scene where Simone... He goes into the restaurant where Simone works. He just walks in because the ghost tells him, you know, tell him Large Marge sent you. It's a whole ghost story. So he goes in and Large Marge sent me. And everything gets real quiet. It goes into the whole monologue about Large Marge. It's the whole thing is great. It's great. I'll let you know about parking spots. I know I was only there for 5 minutes and she got mad. That was her parking spot. At my other place, when I first moved in, I didn't know exactly where to park. We had to overhang parking, you know, because of rain and stuff. And I found out that those were actually reserved spots. So I'd parked at one spot, and then someone had left a note on my car that said, this is my reserved spot, blah, 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 you know. Well, I had moved over one night. I was just tired. I just parked. And I was parked at one of my old spots because I had been at this complex for quite a bit of time. Off and on, and the next day I came in and there was a note saying I saw what the guy did, and the guy got so mad. I wasn't around, but he kicked that side of the door 3 times. I did a little vlog on it and dented the side of the door because he was mad over his parking spot, you know. So I had to report that to my insurance and everything. But yeah, he kicked it 3 times and dented the side of it. It's not that big of a dent, but it looks like a footprint on the side of it. Kind of made me mad. I never found the guy. I don't know if he's around. I never got to really turn him in or anything. I did report it to the insurance, though. I did make it known to the insurance for vandalism all over a parking spot. I mean, come on, you know. I've got a lot of parking stories about, you know, doing this kind of work. You come across parking so rudely interrupted by the crazy parking lady. Anyway. No, he also takes the fish. Remember, he goes into the pet shop when it's on fire, and he's like, "It's okay, it's okay," and he's scooping the fish out with a little fish net and putting it in these little bags. They must have thought very longly, lots of long suffering going on, and thinking of how they were going to do that. And then, you know, the whole place is on fire, smoke everywhere. And he's making sure the monkey and the dogs and the cats, and he's, you know, putting the bags of fish down. He goes and gets the parakeets and all that stuff, and all the birds and all the stuff. Everything you could think would be in a pet shop, you know, for animals, for pet animals. And then finally the snakes are last, you know. He keeps passing up the snakes, right? That's really, really deep, like really comical, like beyond Mel Brooks kind of stuff, you know, because you have to really think about that, really plan that out, because every time he runs by, he sees the snakes, you know, and he sees the snakes and he keeps going, gets the other animals that he likes, sees the snakes again, and he keeps going, runs and gets another animal, and he sees the snakes. He's like, oh, I don't want to deal with that. And finally, you know, I think he releases a turtle too. I think there was a turtle maybe, or it'd been funny if there was. Finally, he grabs the snakes and he's running out. That probably took a little bit of work. I'm sure Paul Rubens has talked about that whole sequence and that movie. They need to do a behind the scenes kind of special on the making of that movie. It's a great little movie. It opens really great too. It has a great opening with the bicyclist and all that stuff. You always remember all the, you know, the music of Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure is great. It's a musical thing. It's nearly a musical. It's almost a musical. Tequila is probably the only that one is probably the only like kind of commercial song. There may have been a few others. I have to watch it. But you know, like there's a dream sequence too with not the donut, but he has a dream about a donut. It's a snake. There's one with a snake and a donut or something. Oh no. Let's see if I can dodge it. Okay, good. No, let's see. Yeah, the tequila one is one. I used to know all these songs by heart. They're like a lot of classical stuff. It's circus music. There's a lot of circus music. Like whenever he's having the nightmare about the doctors, you know, and they're really clowns behind a mask. That I can hear it in my head. I just can't vocalize it right now. But there's a bunch of that. There's a bunch of classical music that's why it'll go down as an all-time classic movie. You know, just like Wizard of Oz, you know, is a classic movie. Pee Wee's Big Adventure is a classic movie. You know, there's not many of them. You know, Gone with the Wind, Wizard of Oz, Pee Wee's Big Adventure. It'll be like that level. You know, that's what I really like about that movie. I put on Pee Wee's Big Adventure music and got kind of teary-eyed. It's such powerful music. The truth about it is that Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens, studied at Cal Arts Tech or Caltech Arts or Cal Arts Tech or something. Anyway, my professor, Marjorie Hayes, went to school with him. They were in the same class. He would show up to class, an acting class, dressed up as Pee Wee. As Pee Wee Herman. He did that every day. And he developed that character. It was a character that he developed. So the script and the movie that Tim Burton, you know, eventually created was not created by Tim Burton. It was created by Paul Rubens. He helped develop it. is all Tim Burton's did. That was more of like, Tim Burton's was more of kind of like an assistant director. Paul Reubens was behind all of it. That's an interesting thing. It was an actor movie, you know, because that was a character that he created. That's what's great. And the reason I know this is because I met one of the peer students that worked with him when she was in California. He would come up with many characters. So that was one of the many that he had come up with. He's a mad genius. $2 for $5's not a bad deal. Whittled through all of these and I found some savers. This one's good, Eternity's Gate. It's a good comedy right here, Hangover. I want to see this one. I only chose ones that I don't have, but I haven't seen it, but I heard it's good. Vox Lux. Zookeeper's Wife is good. It's an important one. It's a really good one. Avatar's Scorsese. It's good. I sold this one before my baptism, but will probably buy it eventually. Sicario's great. It's a great freaking... This is probably the sequel, though. It might be the sequel, but the first one's good. Please Stand By is wonderful. It's probably Dakota's best work. It's really, really good. See it immediately. Joker's great. It's going to be Todd Phillips, Bradley Cooper. Joaquin Phoenix won for Best Actor. It's really good. Phantom Threads, P.T. Anderson, really good one. Haven't seen this one. I always wanted to see it's Robert Redford, Old Man and the Gun. Cloverfield's great. I saw in the theater. The Lives of Others is about the Allies in Germany spying on people. Espionage. Last Samurai, we know that, Tom Cruise. And The Foxcatcher, which is really good. And then First Blood, too. As Starco, U571, Squid in the Well, Hero, and of course, The Last Waltz. For later, please subscribe show, maybe even being called Video Recording in Progress, you know. Just change my whole channel name. I'm sure they've all thought of that. Video recording in progress. And you use like the little symbol for the video recording. Like t-shirts. Maybe it could be video recording in progress. It could be a series inside the Please Subscribe show. So then, it's / Please Subscribe show. Video recording in progress. Welcome to Video Recording in Progress. And the Please Subscribe show. Be something like that. That's kind of cool.